Hello, dear viewers. Welcome to our channel, where we dive into the fascinating world of ancient myths and legends. Today, we will talk about one of the most famous figures in Greek mythology, Europa, the daughter of the Phoenician king, whose story became the symbol of an entire continent. In this video, we will not only tell you about her life, but also explore other myths connected to her, her children, and her descendants. So, get ready for an unforgettable journey into the world of ancient legends. The story of Europa begins in Phoenicia, an ancient civilization on the eastern coast of the Mediterranean, known for its sailors and traders. Her father was King Agenor, who ruled the city of Sidon. In some versions of the myth, it is said that Europa was not the daughter of Agenor, but of Phoenix, the founder of the Phoenician people. Europa was renowned for her exceptional beauty, which attracted the attention of many. One night, she had a strange dream in which two lands argued over the right to possess her. One represented Asia, and the other was a continent located to the west. This dream foreshadowed her destiny, which would change the course of history. According to ancient Greek myths, Zeus, the chief god of Olympus, fell in love with Europa at first sight. To approach her, he took the form of a snow-white bull with golden horns. Europa, captivated by the beauty and peaceful appearance of the animal, came closer and sat on his back. However, instead of staying in place, the bull suddenly rushed into the sea and swam to the island of Crete. Thus, Zeus, in the form of a bull, abducted Europa and brought her to this island, where they became a couple. From their union, 3 sons were born: Minos, Rhadamanthus, and Sarpedon. Minos, the most famous of Europa and Zeus's sons, became the king of Crete. He is known as a just ruler and the creator of the Cretan navy. However, his name is most closely associated with the labyrinth and the Minotaur. According to the myth, Minos ordered the construction of a vast labyrinth on the island, where the Minotaur, a monster with the body of a man and the head of a bull, was imprisoned. The story of Minos is closely connected with the legend of Theseus, who later managed to kill the Minotaur and escape from the labyrinth with the help of Minos' daughter, Ariadne. Ariadne gave Theseus a thread, which he used to avoid getting lost in the maze's convoluted corridors. Rhadamanthus, Minos' brother, was renowned for his fairness. He became one of the 3 judges of the underworld, Hades, who determined the fates of departed souls. His image is associated with the concept of justice and fairness that endures even after death. Sarpedon, another son of Europa, gained fame as a hero of the Trojan War. He was an ally of the Trojans and fought on their side against the Greeks. His death on the battlefield is one of the most tragic moments in Homer's Iliad. Zeus, watching the battle, wanted to save his son from his fate, but could not alter the decree of destiny. After his death, Sarpedon was carried back to his homeland, where he was buried with great honors. Europa, as a symbol and character, has inspired many other myths and legends. For example, she is associated with the cult of the mother goddess on Crete, as her name is linked to fertility and the earth. She was also honored in many Greek cities, where temples were built in her name and festivals dedicated to her were celebrated. There is also a legend about how Europa became the wife of the Cretan king Asterius after Zeus left her. This union strengthened the bond between the Phoenicians and the Cretans, which lasted for many centuries. In one version of the myth, Europa, while in the city of Sidon, received a prophecy from an oracle. The prophecy stated that she would become the mother of great kings and heroes, and that her fate would be intertwined with the fate of the continent. This prophecy laid the groundwork for future events, where her descendants, such as Minos, Rhadamanthus, and Sarpedon, would have a significant impact on the ancient world. After Zeus left Europa, she married the Cretan king Asterius. This union symbolized the merging of two cultures, Phoenician and Cretan. Astarius became her husband and ruler of Crete, allowing Europa to become a significant figure in the island's history. This legend also marks a transition from one period to another in ancient history. There is also a myth that Europa and her descendants had a connection to the legendary Atlantis. Some versions of the myth claim that Astarius, Europa's husband, was a descendant of the inhabitants of Atlantis, and that Crete, under the rule of Minos, had close ties with this legendary civilization. This version of the myth highlights the ancient connections between different cultures and civilizations. In some versions of the myth, Europa is considered the patroness of various cities and peoples. Her name became a symbol of unity and peace among different cultures. For example, temples were erected in her honor in Tyre, modern Lebanon, and Crete, where locals celebrated festivals in her name and sought her blessings for the prosperity of their cities. In some versions of the myth, Theseus, the hero of Athens, also had a connection with Europa. According to one legend, after his adventure in the labyrinth, Theseus frequently traveled to Crete, where he honored Europa as the progenitor of the Cretan dynasty. There was a belief that the legacy of Minos and his descendants continued through Theseus, who was considered a partial heir to European culture and traditions. Europa was also associated with Poseidon, the god of the sea. According to the myth, Poseidon was infatuated with Europa and offered her wealth and glory in exchange for her heart. However, Europa remained loyal to Zeus, but her interaction with Poseidon symbolized the connection between the marine and terrestrial aspects of the divine order. In one version of the myth, Europa is represented as one of the Titanides, daughters of the Titan Atlas, reflecting ancient cosmic beliefs and tribal connections. This version emphasizes her grandeur as a linking figure between the Titans and the new deities of the Olympian pantheon, demonstrating a transition from one cultural layer to another. The Romans also honored Europa, although her myths were often intertwined with Roman legends. In Roman culture, Europa was associated with the goddess Venus, symbolizing love and beauty. She was frequently depicted in Roman art as a symbol of ideal femininity and grace. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to our channel, give it a like, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss new videos about myths, legends, and much more. Your comments and questions are also always welcome.